What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Just Everyday People, where we uncover and celebrate the uniqueness in everyday people. I'm your host, Laolu, Jesusbaby. Thank you for tuning in. We have a great discussion for you today. I'll be joined by my friend Bimbo, and he'll be sharing some insights with you on how he found his purpose and how he developed it to the man he is today. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Hey Bimbo, welcome to the show.
Gams. Thank you so much for having me, man. So good to be here.
Bro, honestly, you're one of those people that when I had the idea for the show, it's definitely you're one of those voices that I feel like people need to hear from you. Simply because from our relationship, we serve within the response as well together, and I just feel like some of the things you've gone through, some of your life experiences, is just so important to this generation that we have to hear it. Yeah. Honestly. So yeah, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, man. It's so good to see you. It's been a while.
It really
I was remembering when you invited me to University of Wolverhampton. I don't know if you remember when you did an event there. But yeah, man, thank you so much for having me.
Yes, I remember. Yeah, I almost forgot. That's true. Yeah, you came for it was a careers day, and you came to present. How you can move on from biomedical science. That is not just one route that you can take, right?
Yes. That was it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming. So yes, let's get into it. So you are a scientist going on to a doctor. Is that right? And you're also a minister as well.
Yes.
Is that okay? You're a leader within your church, within your community.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So if it's okay with you, could you give us maybe a bit of history of your journey, where you come from, how old you are, and maybe what you do now?
Yeah. So my full name is Abimbola Olabode.
Jeez.
Some people call me Bimbo.
Yeah.
My nickname is AJ. That's what my wife calls me. I'm 29. 30 next summer. Like Laolu said, I'm a scientist going on doctor. So what that means is my first degree was in biomedical science.
Okay.
And then on finishing that degree about 7 or so years ago, towards the end of it, I knew that I felt like there was more. I felt like my desire was to become a doctor. And I think without not using the word purpose too soon.
Not too soon, we'll get into it.
I felt like, there was more to my journey. So when I finished, I applied to medicine, didn't get in, and then did a master's in neuroscience.
Okay.
But leading up to that point, I have an intense passion for football, which I guess we'll get to nicely. So just by introduction, I'm married to an American, Michelle Kate, and we've been married going on 3 years.
Hey, congratulations, bro. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so if we could maybe step back a bit. So you said you had a passion to become a doctor. Now you started within science. So is this something that from a younger age you've always wanted to go into? I mean, you also mentioned that you really wanted to become a footballer as well. So was there a switch at some point, or did you always, when you were younger, want to go through the science route?
It's quite interesting. Like when I think about it, when people would ask me when I was about 5, 6, what did I want to be?
Yeah.
I would say I want to become a doctor.
Okay.
I study medicine, but I never really knew what that meant.
Yeah.
It was just what I just heard my parents say when they would go to like a club meeting and they're talking about parenting.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, what does your son want to do, or what do you want him to do? And my parents would say, I want to study medicine. I want to study medicine. So I just kind of like jumped on the bandwagon because I never really thought about what I wanted to do. Understandably, I was like 5 or 6.
Okay. I'm sorry. Are your parents in science as well? Your parents, are they in science?
No, my mom did qualify as a nurse.
Okay.
She's not practicing anymore. So she studied nursing in Nigeria.
Okay.
Before she moved over here.
Okay.
My dad's background is engineering.
Okay.
He's out of the field and doing something else now.
Okay.
So my mom was a qualified nurse in Nigeria.
Okay.
But she moved here and didn't practice.
Okay.
But I remember growing up and watching hospital programs like ER.
Yes.
Like
They would sway your
I just,
imagination, wouldn't you?
yeah, it was just fascinating that you see a little boy that's been run over,
Mm-hmm.
whisked away in an ambulance.
Mm-hmm.
You got these people running around in a white jacket, and by the end of the episode,
Yeah,
the boys
22 minutes, he's all good.
and I was just like, man, like this is like human Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see the heart rate monitor, beep,
Yeah,
beep, beep,
yeah.
and you just see it flatline, and you're on the edge of your
Then
seat.
you
Like,
know that, oh
oh
my
my
God.
God, he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then they resuscitate him and stuff. And it was kind of like, man, like I want to do that. But again, I didn't really know much about what the curate entailed, how you got into it.
Okay.
I just grew up saying I wanted to do that. But like when I turned 10, I decided to like join a local football team.
Okay.
Something just clicked. Like I'm quite good at football.
Yeah.
And there was just like a natural ability that I discovered around the age of 10 where like I would run and I would leave people behind. Like
I know that feeling
too. Like people be like, you are really, really quick. Like so I was like, okay, like told my mom like I wanted to like play football, so she signed me up to the local football team. So I think she was just really big that like I did my schoolwork.
Okay.
I played and then I would like go to church. So like at the time, I remember I was attending a church in Crystal Palace.
Okay.
At the time, service finished about 12:30. Football start 1:10.
Okay.
I'm correct, 1:15. So I'd shoot home and play football.
Okay. And within the church session, did you have roles as well, or did you just go?
No, so I was about 10, so I was just going to like junior church.
Okay.
And I just remember just like playing football at the time. It was from that I discovered like I'm competitive. You know, there were some kids. So I think at the time, because I was 10, I couldn't play under 10s. And when you're young, it's usually like 2 age groups.
Yeah.
So I was up 10, so I'll play with under 12s.
Yeah.
And I used to play the under 12s. And bearing in mind, some of these under 12s, actually with hindsight, they were in year 7.
Okay.
So they do things that I couldn't do. And I'll be like, no. Like I want to be like TJ. I want to be like TJ. Like TJ is really, really good.
Yeah.
So like I would like, try and go the extra mile or try and emulate some of the things I would see boys do.
Okay.
When I was in primary school, for instance.
Okay. Did you spend time like outside of the football? Did you spend time practicing as well on your own?
Just outside the estate. Those are the things that I did outside of playing for a local football team, just to play football, just to keep the fire alive.
Okay, cool. So from here, it seems like you have quite a lot of things you're doing. So you're playing football as well as, you're still in school. So because this is something I went through as well. When I was younger, I had this passion for football because, like you, I was really, really good. And when you have a lot of noise from people saying, oh, God, you're really, really good, you could play pro. And then you start feeling and believing this thing to a point where I was convinced that this was my purpose, to play football at the highest level, get paid for it, make a living out of this. And then eventually it didn't work. So I just wanted to ask you if you could maybe speak to the effect of being so good so young and being convinced that this is a passion for you. So how did that flip come to a point where you were like, okay, maybe this is not going to work, or this didn't work? What was the mindset behind that?
That's a really good question. I feel like I went on a journey for about 8 to 10 years thinking I could go professional. If I'm really honest, by the age of 18, I felt like I could play football, but I don't think I could get to like Premiership.
Okay. So maybe Championship, maybe?
Yes.
Okay.
So up from like 10 to like 16.
Okay.
Definitely between the ages of 14 to 16, I felt like, I could go all the way. I could go all the way.
And you were having people convince you that, you're really good. Like, keep going. Yeah, you're really good.
I think it was about the age of 14 that I kind of felt like I was either playing football with people that were at professional clubs. So either people that were at Southend, Crystal Palace. So my secondary school brought in like coaches from Millwall,
Oh, okay. Okay.
trainers, people that maybe had like
Premiership
FA
experience.
level badges
Okay.
with Arsenal, were
Okay.
like either into the neighborhood. So I kind of felt like, within that age gap, like I was playing football and having the ability to mirror myself against someone that was at an academy,
Okay.
or having the opportunity to demonstrate my skills or display my skills to people that had links to professional clubs. So in between that 14 to 16 age gap, I kind of felt like, you know what? Yeah, like this was a common occurrence. So I felt like now was the time to really go all out, to where like I think I played football, pretty much played football every single day in school. I was playing for my local side, playing for my school side, played 7-a-side with men. I was like 14 playing 7-a-side with like men. I went to 2 Arsenal camps in the summer holiday. I did Millwall came to my secondary school. Millwall came to my community.
Wow. So there's a lot of evidence to say that yes, this is for you.
Yeah, Tottenham had trials. I went to Tottenham trials. Nike had trials in central London. Went there with my friend. So you name it, like I was like, I'm going. For sure.
Okay, so you have a desire, a burning passion for football, and it's to a point where you're convinced that this is it for you. But then you also have parents at home who are still encouraging you to study and stay focused in school. Did this affect your schoolwork at all, or were you able to juggle them?
So it's quite interesting. So when I was 11, my parents split up.
Okay.
My dad was usually the one that was academically focused.
Okay.
He was the one that would sign me and my brother up to Saturday school. He was the one that had us have like a tutor that came around. My brother was doing his GCSEs and I was doing like my SATs in year 6. So when they split up, I kind of felt, just because my mum's focus was that I need to take care of myself, the mortgage, the kids. She didn't really focus much on education. Like
just stay in school.
Yeah, exactly. Just stay in school. But like she would ask me like how am I doing in school, and I would say, like this is how I'm doing. I'm doing well in math, or I'm upset in science, or so those are some of the things that were happening at the time. I think I had always, with hindsight, placed a level of importance on just being good at everything. So I don't think I just I don't think I just let my education go. I got decent GCSEs. I got 1A, 1B, 6 C's, and the D in history was my fault. Like you were meant to answer like 3 questions, I answered like 4 in that time, and I was like an automatic grade below. But like my reports were really good. My teacher spoke highly of me. Like like I maintained a good character, a good name. My attendance was on point. I was top set in maths, intermediate set for like everything else. Represent my school. So I would say like I placed a decent emphasis on education. I didn't slack. Definitely didn't slack.
Okay, well that's good to hear. So at what point did you start thinking of purpose?
At what point did I start thinking about purpose? I think it was, if I'm really honest, probably the flame probably started when I was about 15. Why I say that? I remember I was playing for the Sunday League side, and a friend of mine had just given his life to Christ. And on Monday morning, we would speak about how our Sundays were. So I would say, man, we played against this team as Crystal Palace. Rah, scored a hat trick. And he would be like, oh, this happened in church. I decided to delete all like R&B from my phone, and we'll just like banter. And then I remember him saying that, oh, like, you should become a follower of Jesus as well. And I was like, oh, they say life begins at 40. Like, I'll give my life then. And then he was like, oh, if you're promised that I will see you tomorrow, I will leave you alone. And for that moment, I was just like, man, like my life is not like my own. Like I'm here for a reason. And like someone said that like we don't wake up, because of our alarm clock.
Oh yeah.
Like if you put our clock next to a dead person, they won't wake up.
They won't wake up.
And I just remember at that moment, like I was just like, man, like yeah, like there must be a reason why I'm here. Like, and I would think about, like I was premature when I was born, like 7 weeks premature. Like my mom suffered like a placental eruption, so for like 6-7 weeks I had like no food supply. Like I was like, my mom could carry me in one hand. I was hit by a car when I was 5, and all these memories started coming back to me. And I was like, man, like this isn't a coincidence. Like I must be here for a reason. So that was when I was 15.
Okay.
And then fast forward to 18, I had just finished sports college. So I guess maybe I should say that now that when I left secondary school, rather than doing A-levels, one of the best sports colleges in the country in Gloucestershire for 2 years, in a bid to go professional as well.
Okay.
But when I finished that, I moved back to London, and I just remember thinking, I'm good at football, but I need to go to uni.
Okay.
And my mom like,
there had to be a backup.
My mom was like, I think she was in her second year of studying law, so she had gone back to uni. Study law, and then she was just like, well, you can follow my footsteps, and I pave the way for you, or you can do something else. And I was just like, I'm not gonna do law. Okay. And like science was the only other thing I knew.
Okay.
So then I did like a foundation year in science. And like I just kind of like came alive, like studying about like chemistry, biology, life, microbacteria, all that kind of stuff, psychology. And I was just like, yeah, like this is definitely for me.
Okay.
Then it was when I was about 19 that I attended something called an event called Festival of Life. You probably know it.
Yeah.
This event is like 40,000 people, 50,000 people in Excel London. And that was the first time that I felt like I had a spiritual encounter. Ooh. I felt like, yeah, I am different. Now it's time to embrace this difference. And ever since then, like, I've kind of gone on a journey of just like, man, like, why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I here? So it was probably 19 that I kind of said, you know what? I'm different. I no longer want to fit in. I now need to discover why I'm here.
Awesome. So this kind of stemmed from an epiphany you had from a conversation with a friend.
Yeah, when I was 15.
Wow.
I remember I was in my history classroom. I can tell you what table I was. Clear as day. Wow. I remember crying.
Oh wow.
I remember crying after that. I was like, oh my God, yeah, like there must be a reason why I'm here. Like I need to discover it. Like man. I was like, yeah. I remember we went upstairs. Yeah. Like he prayed for me. I cried, came downstairs and just dumped my girlfriend.
I'm so sorry. But
no girlfriend, I need to discover like my purpose.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks for sharing, bro. Okay, so maybe just for framework's sake, what would you define as purpose?
What would I define as purpose? I think the best way I would describe purpose is there's a quote by a guy called Lou Engle, and he said that God had an idea and he just wrapped your body around it. That's and deep. What that means, it's discovering why you are here. It's discovering why you are here and chasing after it. Ultimately, it's just knowing that it's not a coincidence that you are born now. Like born in the era of Henry VIII.
Yeah.
In
the Roman Empire. No, there's a reason.
There's a reason. And it's just first just accepting that you're not a coincidence. You're not like a coming together of matter. Like you're not a mistake. Like there's a reason why you are here now, and it's just discovering what that is for you or for anybody, man.
Wow, amazing. Thanks for sharing. So do you know your purpose?
Yeah.
So you can, hand on heart, you can stand and say, yes, you know your purpose. Okay, what age were you convinced that this is your purpose? What age did that happen for you?
I can't say it was...
Like, it wasn't one specific day, it was like maybe a series of...
Yeah, it was probably between like the ages of 19 to about 22.
Okay.
Yeah, probably that 3-year window.
Okay.
I'd say that kind of like my purpose became crystallized for me.
Okay. Interesting. So leading up to that, can you highlight or point out some things that kind of helped you develop into finding your purpose? I mean, so you haven't shared what your purpose is. I'm not sure if you're happy to do that. But for some people, okay, so for example, let's say a Barack Obama now, who may feel like his purpose was to become the president of the United States. Leading up to that, he would have had to develop some skills, how to speak, how to communicate, how to empathize with people, before he now came to find out that, okay, maybe all these things come together in me holding a post in which I serve people with these things. So can you like maybe point out some of the maybe skills you developed, some of the things you developed in finding out your purpose?
Great question, man. So there's a book I read called Discover Your Hidden Treasures. And the idea of the book is kind of the whole idea of like diamond in the dirt. It's knowing that, there's treasure within you. And that book kind of lists kind of various things, like the importance of identifying like your natural passions.
Okay.
Like identifying kind of like the things that just grieve you and you want to see justice being done. And it kind of helps you ask yourself questions.
Okay.
There was a quiz that asked you questions about like your passions.
Okay.
Again,
this is all in the book.
No, this is something else.
Okay.
The book recommends it, but around this time, how I came to discover my passion, I remember this quiz that you did, and it will basically ask you questions.
Okay.
And it will kind of go on a journey to kind of discover kind of like skills you're good at.
Okay.
What sort of career those things point down.
Okay.
And I did quite a lot of those things. More than anything, it was a lot of self-discovery.
Okay.
A lot of discovery. So like a fantastic example would have been my memory. I just have a very good memory. It to where like I could read something and like just remember.
Wow.
Like
how much it helped in exams?
Partially. But yeah, like I could read, fantastic example, like the Bible.
Okay.
I found myself being able to like memorize verses verbatim, locate in the Bible. So I was like, you know what, like that's, well, I didn't give myself this ability.
Yeah.
Another thing was being passionate about health.
Okay. So
like my brother has a neurological condition, and I remember when he was like diagnosed, and I was just very, 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 very grieved by just seeing that.
Okay.
Things like sexual violations, for instance, people being violated sexually, that were raped, those sort of really, every time I read a news about something, like I would just, for like no reason, all of these various indicators kind of pointing me in the direction, you know, like I think this is what makes me come alive, this is what upsets me. This is kind of like one thing. I think in the book it mentioned what would you do if you weren't paid for it?
That's a good question.
I was just like I would love to be able to sit down with people and just hear their story.
Okay.
And that it spoke about environment. And it said that everything is created with an optimal environment. Yeah. Fish, water, bird, air.
Yeah.
me, there's an optimal environment.
Yes.
And like following my brother to his hospital appointments, fam, I'd just be like, whoa, this is cool. Like I'll just be on the edge of my seat, just listening to the consultant, just asking questions, looking at his stethoscope when they take the blood pressure and his results. And I'll be like, okay, what does this acronym mean? What's MGCL2?
So when you were in that environment, you were just consuming so much, and you just had this passion and love that just erupted when you were in that area.
I would come and like there was one day I was and one of the things that I did to solidify if this was something that I was interested in is I worked at Breakup Hospital. I worked there for 3 years. I purposely put myself in that environment.
Okay.
To can I do this for the rest of my life? And basically test what I know about myself.
Okay.
And there was one.
So working there, was it voluntary or did you get the job or?
Employment.
Okay, paid. Okay.
Secondary to consultants.
Okay.
Which is a fantastic opportunity. I was able to like liaise directly with these doctors, manage their diary.
Okay.
Along with them and just, say how was clinic today? What some of the things how did you get into your career? That kind of stuff.
Okay.
And there was one day, I asked like the theatre team if I could come into surgery, and they said they'd get me.
Yeah.
So I think that day I maybe struggled to sleep or something. And I remember going to work really, really tired. And I got to work and I got an email saying, oh, if you can... So bearing in mind, I started work at either 9 or 9:30. It was like, if you can come to theatre for 11, like you can come and observe like a brain surgery.
Wow, okay.
My manager, and he was like, yeah, so far you make up the hours. I was that day. The moment rubbed in and went in, fam, the adrenaline.
It will come from nowhere.
I was like, fam, like, I was thinking, how am I going to get through this day? I was just like, looking at the brain, just like, whoa. Wow. Just a surge of energy. And I think that was probably like the tipping point for me. Like, I was just like, I need to be doing this. Like, I need in a hospital, like studying to become a doctor or becoming a doctor is very much a part of the purpose for my life.
Okay.
That's why maybe 3-4 years from that time, I'm in medical school now.
Hey, wow. That is amazing to hear, bro. That is amazing to hear. Thank you for that. Because, I mean, it just goes to show you that you have to observe your environment. Because it seemed like you were put in a position where there were a lot of triggers. There were a lot of things around you that kind of had to like stir you up to say, okay, I'm not happy with this. I see that I'm not happy with this either. So now it's up to you to, do you take up the challenge? Do you say that, okay, I'm gonna do something about this. I'm gonna see if I can help. I'm gonna see what I can do to change this. But this is also about observing your environment, and it's great. I'm really happy to hear that, there was a book, I think you mentioned it was called Discovering Your Hidden Treasures, and then some quizzes. So all of these things, you were actively out looking for, okay, how can I, or what can I do to help accelerate me finding my purpose? Amen. Thank you, bro.
Another thing was, so at the time, I attended a church in London. The church was quite a big church. It had like 1,000 members. Okay. And I think the more I became familiar with people in the church, and people identified, oh, like this person needs to become a doctor, like they would maybe like pass a number to me or say, oh, go and speak to this.
Okay.
To those people, like,
more doors will open.
They're done. I was like, it sounds like something I would like to do. Like, and obviously, it has its ups and downs, but kind of like, despite like you being told, oh, you're not going to be paid that much, or
the hours are long.
I was like, okay, I still want to do it.
Yeah.
I kind of, put myself in a situation to be tested. Okay. Allow my passions be tested. Okay. And I guess over time, seeing how like, the passion has strengthened, the work experience and, the little education that I have. Okay. And I kind of thought, this is very much what I want to spend my time doing.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. So that's actually perfect because I was gonna ask you, how do you think your faith has affected or has helped you in discovering your purpose? So now you just mentioned that being in a church, which is pretty much a social environment, speaking up and saying that you have a desire to maybe want to go into to be a doctor. You are just put through to other people who within the same area who are doctors. So just being present in church was one of those things that kind of helped you. Is there anything else? Do you feel like kind of helped you?
I think my faith has significantly helped me in getting to the point I'm at now.
Okay.
I got in after my fourth attempt.
Wow.
Yeah, from the first time I applied to when I got in was 8 years.
Bro, I'm sorry. Could you repeat that, please? Could you repeat that?
Yeah, from the first time I applied to when I got in
to
was
medical
8
school.
years. Medical school.
Wow.
Yeah, it was 8 years. Bearing in mind that the first time I applied was fresh out of college, and I didn't do A levels.
Okay.
So I didn't get in.
Okay.
But I still applied. But yeah, from the first time I applied to when I got in,
okay,
it was 8 years.
Wow.
And I feel like my faith helped me significantly because I felt like, this was what I should be doing. I'm not ashamed to say that my faith, I serve a God that speaks. I serve a God that directs, leads, provides signposts along the way. And I felt like the signposts were pointing in this direction.
Yes.
It just had a matter of time to when I would be allowed on the road, as it were.
Bro, so 8 years is 8 years is enough. It's a long enough time for you to give up. A lot of times.
100%. 100%. So yeah, I feel like my faith has helped me significantly in actually getting to where I am now. The second thing that my faith has helped me is my character. Like, by all means, I'm not the finished element, but I can confidently say that there are certain morals, beliefs, and convictions that I have that have kind of opened certain doors for me.
Okay.
Or kept certain doors open for me.
Okay.
Or prevented me from making certain mistakes. So, Kate, one point, like, my faith has allowed me, by the grace of God, till date, never to cheat on exams, even when I could.
Wow. That's amazing.
My faith has, allowed me, to grow in integrity as it relates to how I deal with other people. So if I've wronged someone, I would go and correct the wrong.
Okay.
Like, gossip. Like, I avoid. So I feel like my faith has informed my character and my lifestyle for sure. Wow. For sure.
Amazing. That is amazing. Thank you for sharing. Because a lot of people may say faith may or may not be necessary. And they may see it as you don't need God to get to where you're going. But what you're saying is, it's not just about the direction. It's not just about getting to purpose. There is a shaping of a person that is also necessary to sustain this journey. That is needed. And the faith along the way, the journey, the communication as well with God is essential. You can't take them apart. And it helps you get to where you're going.
You really can't, because I feel like in this life, I guess you kind of have to decide what you want. And what I mean is, do you get to a certain point and not have the prerequisite undergarden to keep you there? Or do you want to get to a certain point whenever your name is called, people kiss their teeth? Type of thing. And for me, like, my faith has helped me just think, I need to ensure that I have a good name. Like, I need to ensure that I have a good name along the way. And those are some of the, that's a thought that kind of in my mind always, it's, man, opportunities will come, opportunities will go. But like, I want people to say that he was a good person. Like, I want people to say that not only was I excellent on my job, but like I was good to be around.
That is true, and that is important as well. That is how you treat people.
So true. So I think how I see my faith, and if someone was to ask me how do I see my faith, I see my faith as like a hanger.
Okay.
That it's just what I hang the rest of my life upon.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not here to say I'm better than anybody. No, it's what I choose to hang the rest of my life upon. It's when I think about marriage, for instance, I'm hanging this on my faith. What does it look like to be married? With this in mind, my relationship with you. So, for instance, when you got married, after your honeymoon and stuff, I was like, let me check on you. Like my relationship with my parents, I hang it on my faith, and my faith instructs me on how I do that. And that's it. Like, everybody has a foundation. Everyone has a ground zero from my that.
Okay.
I have my faith to be the thing that I allow to build the rest of my life upon. That's why it informs, my direction, but it also informs
your choices as well. Awesome. Thanks for sharing, bro. So you're in the church. You've been in the church for a while now, and now you hold some leadership positions within the church. I wanted to ask how, I guess, did you get to that position, and maybe why did you consider that? Okay, I would like to take up roles within the church, because, for example, there are people who can go to church and not necessarily hold a role, not necessarily want to be used. There's life going on around. There's life, and then you have your as you're studying to be a doctor, but then now you're within the community as well. You're willing to go into a church and try and be useful, try and be helpful. So I was just wondering, what was the the mindset between saying, okay, yeah, I feel like I can be useful here as well?
That's a really good question. I think probably why I decided to give of myself in that way, I kind of see it as a way of seeing the vision of the church grow.
Okay.
My way of saying that I believe in this. Okay. If you believe something, put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, true.
Kind of like, like, I believe in this, so I'm going to give my time.
Okay.
And I think that's probably the first thing that kind of allowed me to even begin to think of leadership. The goal never to be a leader.
Okay.
Always, they need some help here. Okay. I have time. Let me help.
Okay.
Like, how I even started serving in church. Okay. It was crossover service, so that was from like the 31st of January to the 1st of January.
31st of December to January. Yeah.
To the 1st of January. Yeah. Usually every church, there's new people that come to church. There's some people that New Year's Day, Christmas.
Yeah. Easter. Yeah.
So in anticipation of like a flock of people coming in, they extra people to just direct to a seat.
Okay.
Just, yeah, I'll help.
Okay.
And that was it. I enjoyed it. Helping people find a seat, smile. Can I have a pen? I want to like give my offering.
Yeah.
And in doing that, and me seeing, like, there is a reward for doing it. Yeah. When I say there's a reward, it's not, I wasn't paid to do it.
Yeah.
I learned so much, man. I learned about like time management. I learned.
Bro, it's like you're hitting the nail on the head. This is exactly why I asked that question.
Yeah, I learned about time management. I learned about punctuality. I learned about just relationship etiquette. So like, if you're late, send a text.
I mean, it is not hard.
If you're going to be late, don't send a text 5 minutes before you're meant to be there. The moment you're late, send a text. And when you send a text, if it's appropriate, say why you're gonna be late.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just those little etiquettes. You know, the church I served at, because I started off as an usher,
Okay.
there was a color code
Okay.
for every day, for every Sunday. So it was okay. All the ushers wear blue.
Okay.
It taught me discipline. For instance, so at the church that I was at, like the men had to wear like suits or like dark colored trousers. I also had to invest in some suits. I had to, you know, iron my clothes. So
be presentable.
Sunday morning, Saturday night. And those are the rewards that have helped me, you know, because I was in a role like usher and I was front facing, you know, people would look out for me. So when I wasn't in church, people were like, oh, Bimbo wasn't in church. Let me send text. And I did, see, I just did it because I wanted to help out.
Because there was a need.
Yeah, it wasn't that, oh, I want people to know me.
Yeah.
Those are some of the rewards. You know, to build on that, you know, I was an usher for like a year or two.
Okay.
And I knew that I was not where I was 2 years ago. You know, I enjoyed it. You know, I saw there was more need. So I began, you know, rather than just showing up at like 8:45 help, I would get there at 9:30 for help out and make the job easier for someone. Or when there was, for instance, someone had to like count how many people in the congregation. I was like, yeah, I want to learn how to do that. You know, so I would learn, and then I would fill out the sheet. Okay, there were this many men, this many women, this many people. And
learning some administration skills.
Exactly. And then, you know, it then moved to, we want to be able to start meeting regularly or every month.
Okay.
Prayer meeting.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, my house is free.
So just being available.
Exactly.
And you're developing yourself.
People come over and I'll be like, okay, like I need to feed them something. But then I started learning.
Now these are new skills.
Exactly.
Bro, I said that question. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I said that question because a lot of people say they don't have skills. Now, it's understandable that, okay, maybe you're in a home where it's hard for you to develop some of these skills, the character, the discipline. But then when you go to school, okay, we can say it may be hard to develop integrity. But then when you put yourself in a position or in a place like the church setting, for example, and you put yourself forward, it is a perfect ground for you to learn a litany of skills, as much as you want. And this is all free.
Sure.
And this comes with, to some people, they can get references from the church, from their pastor. You know, like, okay, yes, I've seen this man build, work on these skills. I've seen this woman develop these skills. You understand? So I feel like it's hard to accept that excuse that I don't have skills. Because there is so many avenues, so many places where you can develop if you just put yourself forward. For example, the church. So sorry to cut you off, bro. I just wanted to to really get that out there, to let the people know, listen, there are places you can. Sorry.
Yeah, 100%. Like, being in that environment, I've learned so many skills, like what they would call soft and hard skills. At one point, the church wanted to undergo just a revamp of its contacts. So they did like a church-wide audit. Okay. I helped some people. Okay. Confirm this is your date of birth. Okay. This address. Okay. It says you're married to so and so. Okay. Is the name. That kind of stuff. And like, man, I haven't thought about this in a long time. But what you mentioned about reference, my pastor was gonna write my reference for med school. I think. But then with Heinz, because he's also a doctor. Okay. But then I was like, maybe I should get like one of my tutors. Okay. But at least you have an option. Exactly. You know, and to be honest, like, yeah, the church has been a fantastic place for me to like learn skills. Like, and I can quite confidently say I've never really gone to the church to say I want to learn a skill. It just really happened organically, like relationship skills. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like, I think everything is hinged on your ability to communicate, you know, and to treat people well,
Yeah.
and keep your word, you know, to discharge your task and responsibility excellently. I'm super thankful for being able to, you know, learn the skills that I've learned, being in churches. I've attended several churches. Well,
Awesome, bro. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing that. I know someone needed to hear that. I definitely know. So final question. I wanted to kind of maybe just wrap it up now. What advice would you give your younger self pertaining to him trying to find out his purpose?
a great question, man. I would say probably ask questions. Yeah, just know and believe that you were meant to be a voice and not an echo.
Woo!
I think I'm currently on this journey of just understanding the power of my voice. That, like, you know, I have needs, I have expectations, I have wants, I have desires. I'm allowed to have desires.
Oh, yes.
I'm allowed to wants. And just believe in that. Like, don't be afraid to get a no. Be afraid to be told. Like,
the fear of failure itself can prevent you from doing so many things.
If you want something, and like, it's like, I'm not saying like you want someone else's wife or something like that.
Okay, that's not what we're talking about.
Like, if you want an opportunity, like if you want to learn something, ask. Yeah, read. I'm quite an avid reader now, but I feel like what I would tell my younger self is, yeah, just don't be afraid of a no.
Okay.
No, you're meant to be a voice, and I don't say this like exclusively to me. I think everybody walking is meant to be a voice or have a voice. Yeah, probably I'm going to slightly digress, but I think it's really appropriate. I remember reading a book, and it spoke about a study that they did between like two families. I think it was different economic class.
Okay.
Followed the family in the poor or poorer economic class. Okay. And they followed the child and his parents as he went to like doctors and hospital and dentist appointment. Found that the parent would tell the child in the poor economic state just do whatever the dentist, the doctor, the nurse tells you to do. Do not ask questions.
Wow.
In the wealthier economic state, they would tell the boy or the girl, ask questions. If you go to do something and you don't know why, ask why. They found that those things translated to how the people operated in school. Wow. Where like the teacher would ask a question, the person in economic would know the answer
and not say anything.
Not say anything. Whilst the older person, the person in the higher economic class would put up their hand. They may get it wrong.
Yeah, but they're willing.
They're willing. You know, and they found that those things translated as the people got older. And that's telling my younger self that you have a voice. You don't have to be afraid of no. Yeah, so that's what I would tell myself, man. That's what I told my younger self.
Thank you, bro, for sharing. That whew, that was great, bro. I really appreciate you. Thank you, honestly, for coming on the show. Thank you for sharing, your life with us. Thank you for sharing some of the, the skills you've learned, how you develop them, and really giving people, courage. Because I feel like some people right now just needed to hear that they have a voice. You have a voice, and just by you explaining how, you can develop that, really helps. So thank you again, bro, for coming.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Hey guys, thank you for watching that episode. I hope you've learned something from Abimbola's message, from our discussion. That the role of his faith in him developing some of his skills, how he was able to find his purpose. I hope it's helped you in some little way. So please, like we say every time, leave a comment, let us know how you think these videos are going. Are they helping you? Is it good? Is it bad? Let us know. Please subscribe to the channel. This really does help us. And click on that notification bell, so when we drop a video,
you're the first to know. God bless you guys. See you in the next video.